that's what his aim is. That's what the communication over here means. That is the mark of a leader, to be a good communicator. We'll move to the next slide. Next slide is about commitment. Commitment in Sanskrit, it means pratibandhata, and pratibandhata comes from pratigya, and I have got one slide where Bhishma is taking that oath. Now, this is coming from chapter 16, verse 2. Achapalam. It says is steadfastness, freedom from fickleness, thinking something now, thinking another thing after some time, and a third thing tomorrow, and never having any concept of final aim of life. And that is what commitment is, and this is what it has been defined in chapter 2. This is the particular word that has been used, and this particular word has been explained by Krishnananda, and that's the explanation that he has given. He says that it is steadfastness, freedom from fickleness. It's not that I'll do this and I'll do that. Thinking something now, thinking another thing after some time, and third thing tomorrow, and never having any concept of the final aim of life. That's what it is. Its commitment is firm. Commitment is something that drives you forward. Commitment is something that drives your vision forward. That is what commitment is. When everything in the world fails, and it is commitment which whispers once more. It says that let's try once more. Let's try once more. That is what commitment is. So it says here, I've got this here. Promise is an expression of interest, and commitment is a promise to keep the promise no matter what. And this is what the slide comes here. Bhishma taking that Bhishma pratigya, that I won't marry. He's taking that oath. He's taking that pratigya, and that pratigya becomes a pratibandhata. And he takes that oath that I will not marry in my life, because his father wanted to marry a lady. Her name was Satyavati, and the father of Satyavati had this, that your son, who is right now the son, he should not become the king. The son born from Satyavati should be the ruler. And that's where the dilemma was. So he asked, Bhishma asked his father, that father, why are you upset? Father narrated that story to him, and he said it's simple. So he went there and he took that pratigya that I will never marry and I'll be bachelor throughout my life. And that is where it became a pratigya. From pratigya it became a pratibandhata, and lifelong he remained a bachelor. And there was a situation that nature wanted to test him as well, when he had abducted 3 ladies from Kashi, Amba, Ambika and Balika. And Amba was in love with some other princess, and then later, because she was abducted, he refused to marry her. So Amba went back to Krishna. Went back to Bhishma, saying that now I have got nowhere to go. What should I do? Now I was in love and that prince is not accepting me, and now the only thing that you have got is you need to break your promise and you need to break your commitment. You need to marry me. He said that is not going to happen. So she said that, look, I'll become the cause of your death. And that's where Shikhandi comes into. And now this battle, on the 10th day of this Mahabharata battle, Bhishma was actually, in my opinion, and in opinion of Dinkar ji as well, Dinkar ji has written a Rashmi Rathi, and in that he's explained, it's a very good poem. If you get time, just read it. And according to that, when I read it, I get this idea that Bhishma and Karna, they were actually a superior warrior than Arjuna. And even Krishna has mentioned at one place that he's explaining to Arjuna, and he says that Krishna, Karna is Arjuna either equal to you or superior in power. Karna is either equal in strength or superior in strength. So even Krishna had that in his back of his mind, that Karna is actually a superior warrior, and that's where that apprehension is coming when he's stuck with that wheel. He thinks that it is the best, this is the best time, and we should make the best use of the opportunity that the nature has given us, rather than actually getting into the legality. And that's where he says that kill him. If you don't kill him, he's going to kill you. And that's where Shikhandi, now on 10th day of the Mahabharata, Bhishma was creating a havoc, and he was killing thousands and thousands of Pandavas army. So thousands and thousands of Pandava soldiers. So Arjun and all the 5 Pandava brothers, they went to Bhishma and said that, look, can you tell us how to kill you? Because if you continue in all this 10 days, look, all that 10 days Bhishma was able to continue the war, but when Bhishma was killed, the battle ended just after 8 days, and Bhishma was the leader of Kaurava's army. So they went there and asking him that, can you tell me how we can get rid of you, how we can kill you? So he said, it's very simple, because my commitment is that I have taken an oath that I will never fight a woman, and I'll never fight a transgender. And they said that if you bring a woman or if you bring a transgender in front of me, I won't raise my bow and arrow. So that's very simple. The moment I don't fight, you can pin thousands and thousands of arrows in my body and I'm dead. So that's where Sikhandi comes into. Sikhandi, there is a story which says that Amma, which was abducted from Kasi is now Sikhandi, and she, in the next life, she becomes Sikhandi, a transgender, and now she becomes the cause of Bhishma's death. So she is brought in front of Bhishma, and Arjuna, the great warrior, is hiding behind Shikhandi. And when Shikhandi is standing in front of Bhishma, Bhishma says that, look, I'm ready to give my life, I'm ready to die, but I'm not ready to break my commitment. A promise is promise, and if I have made a promise, I'll keep my promise no matter what. And that's where he chose to die, and he was, thousands of arrows were pinned into his body, and that's how he died. And I'll just give you another story. There's the Hrithik Roshan. I'll just quickly, I've been Hrithik Roshan. There's a, he's also a man who's got an intense amount of commitment. At the age of 6, he started stammering, and he became self-conscious, and he had low confidence. He lacked confidence, and because of becoming self-aware, because he has 6 fingers, and at that time he was obese as well. So when in school, children, they started teasing him, and he became overconscious and self-conscious, and he started losing his self-confidence in himself, and he started stammering, and that continued, and still now he stammers. But at the age of 17 or 18, he had that desire that I want to become an actor. See, that an actor who cannot deliver a dialogue, who cannot talk properly, had this idea, vision of that I want to become an actor. I see the amount of commitment that this person has, that every film he does, that he prepares for hours and hours behind the scene in front of the mirror to deliver his dialogue. It's online. It is online. It's there, that talks about Hrithik Roshan's speech problems and speech therapy, that see that is the commitment. So every film he does, every single dialogue that he delivers, he has to rehearse it in front of the camera, and he has to make that fluency. It is not that natural. It is not coming natural. It is coming, he has to actually practice it. For many of us, we are gifted that we can speak smoothly. So see that the communication is playing an